Hey everyone! So today we're talking about something you probably have sitting in your kitchen right now, maybe even crying over from time to time. Yes, I'm talking about onions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Onions? Really? But stick with me here because what I'm about to share is going to completely change how you look at this humble vegetable. We're diving deep into the science, the studies, and honestly, some pretty mind-blowing benefits that most people have no idea about. Before we jump in, let me ask you this. What if I told you that eating onions regularly could reduce your risk of certain cancers, strengthen your bones, and even help regulate your blood sugar? Sounds pretty incredible for something that costs like $1, right? Well, that's exactly what the research shows. So let's get into it. First up, and this is a big one, onions are absolutely incredible for your cardiovascular system. Now, heart disease is still the leading cause of death globally, so anything we can do to protect our hearts is huge. Here's where onions come into play. Onions are packed with something called quercetin, which is one of the most powerful plant compounds you can get. Think of quercetin as your heart's personal bodyguard. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that people who took quercetin from onion extract, we're talking about 162 milligrams daily, actually saw their blood pressure drop significantly. We're talking real measurable results here. But it doesn't stop there. Onions also contain these organic sulfur compounds, and these are the guys responsible for making you cry when you chop them. But here's the trade-off. These same compounds can actually help reduce cholesterol levels in your blood, and may even help break down blood clots. A pilot study on adults with mild high cholesterol found that, after just 8 weeks of consuming onion juice, participants saw significant decreases in their total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. That's the bad cholesterol we want to keep low. Their waist circumference even decreased. Now here's something important. Raw onions actually give you more of these sulfur compounds than cooked ones. So if you can handle it, adding raw onions to your salads, sandwiches, or salsa is the way to maximize this benefit. Think of it as your heart, doing a little happy dance every time you add those onion slices. Okay, let's talk about something that affects millions of families worldwide: cancer. Now, I want to be clear here. Onions aren't a cure for cancer, and nothing I'm saying should replace medical advice. But the research on onions and cancer prevention is genuinely fascinating and worth knowing about. Multiple studies have shown that the quercetin in onions has what scientists call anti-carcinogenic properties. Basically, this compound has been observed to have beneficial effects against several types of cancer, including breast, colon, ovarian, gastric, lung, and bladder cancer. That's a pretty extensive list. The way it works is that quercetin and those sulfur compounds we mentioned earlier can help your body fight off the kind of cellular damage that leads to cancer development. There's been comprehensive research over nearly 30 years, more than 80 studies actually, looking at the health benefits of onions, and cancer prevention keeps coming up as a major finding. The key here is consistency. We're not talking about eating onions once and being protected forever. We're talking about making onions a regular part of your diet, which brings us to the long-term effects we'll discuss later. Here's something that's incredibly relevant in today's world: blood sugar control. With diabetes affecting hundreds of millions of people globally and prediabetes rates climbing, anything that helps regulate blood sugar naturally is worth paying attention to. Research has shown that onions can help regulate blood sugar levels. In one study, rats with diabetes who ate food containing 5% dried onion powder for 8 weeks showed decreased fasting blood sugar levels, along with lower triglycerides and cholesterol compared to the control group. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rats aren't humans. You're absolutely right. But these animal studies often give us important clues about how compounds work in mammalian systems, and the mechanisms they discovered are relevant to human biology. The compounds in onions appear to help your body use insulin more effectively, which is crucial for maintaining stable blood sugar. This doesn't mean onions are a replacement for diabetes medication if you need it, but it does mean that incorporating onions into your meals could be a supportive strategy alongside your regular treatment plan. Plus, onions are low-calorie and won't spike your blood sugar themselves, making them a smart choice for anyone watching their glucose levels. Now here's one that surprised me when I first learned about it. Onions can actually make your bones stronger. Yes, really. And this is especially important as we age, because conditions like osteoporosis become more common, particularly after menopause. There was a really interesting study that looked at people who were near or past menopause. And what they found was that those who ate onions daily had greater bone density than those who didn't. Greater bone density means stronger bones, which means lower risk of fractures and breaks as you get older. This is huge because bone fractures in older adults can lead to serious complications and reduced quality of life. The exact mechanisms are still being studied, but researchers believe it has to do with the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds in onions that help protect bone cells from damage. It's another one of those benefits where consistency matters. You're essentially investing in your future, mobility and independence by eating onions regularly now. Finally, let's talk about something that affects literally every aspect of your health, your gut. You've probably heard that gut health is connected to everything from your mood to your immune system. And that's not just hype, it's solid science. Onions are rich in something called fructans, which are a type of prebiotic fiber. Think of prebiotics as food for the good bacteria living in your gut. These beneficial bacteria are crucial for proper digestion, a strong immune system, and even reducing inflammation throughout your body. When you eat onions, you're essentially feeding your gut's good bacteria, helping them thrive and do their job better. The compounds in onions have also been shown to have antimicrobial properties, meaning they can help fight off harmful bacteria while supporting the good ones. Studies have reported that onion compounds show antibiotic effects and can help with overall digestive function. This dual action, feeding good bacteria while fighting bad ones, makes onions a smart addition to any diet focused on long-term wellness. Now let's talk about when to eat onions and who benefits most. Generally speaking, onions can be eaten at any time of day, but there are some considerations. Some people find that eating raw onions on an empty stomach can cause digestive discomfort or heartburn. So if you have a sensitive stomach, try having them with meals instead. Morning or lunchtime might be better than right before bed, especially if you're prone to acid reflux. As for who should eat them, honestly, most people can benefit. But onions are particularly valuable for people managing heart disease risk, those concerned about bone health as they age, anyone trying to regulate blood sugar, and people looking to improve their gut health. That basically covers most of us as we move through our 30s, 40s, and beyond. However, some people should be cautious. If you have irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, onions are high in FODMAPs, which can trigger symptoms. If you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor because onions do have blood-thinning properties usually beneficial, but worth discussing with your healthcare provider. And if you have a genuine allergy to onions, obviously avoid them completely. Let's talk about what happens when you make onions a regular part of your diet over months and years. This is where things get really interesting. The studies we've looked at show that consistent onion consumption can lead to reduced cardiovascular disease risk over time. Through sustained lower blood pressure and better cholesterol profiles, you're potentially reducing your cancer risk through cumulative antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Your bone density can improve or be better maintained as you age. Your gut microbiome becomes healthier and more diverse, and your blood sugar regulation improves, which can help prevent or manage type 2 diabetes. The key word here is consistent. These aren't overnight miracles. They're the result of giving your body beneficial compounds regularly, so it can do its job of maintaining and protecting itself. Think of it as a long-term investment in your health that costs almost nothing. So there you have it, 5 incredible reasons why onions deserve way more credit than they get. From protecting your heart to strengthening your bones, regulating blood sugar, fighting cancer, and supporting your gut health. These layers of goodness are backed by real scientific research. The best part? They're affordable, available everywhere, and easy to incorporate into almost any meal. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. And hey, if you've got any favorite onion recipes or tips for cutting them without crying, share those too. I'm always looking for new ideas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay healthy out there!